Let's turn now to John chapter 21. Some time has passed since the resurrection, and many of the disciples were at the Sea of Galilee. I love how Elder Holland portrays this encounter.
In effect, Peter said to his associates, "Brethren, it's been a glorious 3 years. None of us could have imagined such a few short months ago that the miracles we've seen and the divinity we have enjoyed, we've talked with, we've prayed with, we've labored with the very Son of God himself. We have walked with him and wept with him. And on that night of the horrible ending, no one wept more bitterly than I. But that's over. He's finished his work and he's risen from the tomb. He's worked out his salvation and ours. So you ask, what do we do now? I don't know more to tell you than to return to your former life rejoicing. I intend to go a-fishing."
In this framing, Peter and the other apostles were going back to their old life. They fished all night, but caught nothing. The next morning, they saw a figure on the shore who told them to try one more time. When they followed his counsel, they got an amazing catch of fish. Some of the disciples realized that the man at the shore was the Savior. Peter was so excited that he jumped off the boat and swam straight to Jesus. Contrast this account with an earlier fishing miracle. In Luke chapter 5, Jesus had helped Peter with a miraculous catch of fish. When that happened, Peter said, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." James Martin points out, notice how Peter has changed over the course of Jesus' ministry. At the miraculous catch of fish, recognizing his own sinfulness, he shrinks before Jesus. He cannot bear his own limitations. At the breakfast by the sea, he does not fail to rush to Jesus, even knowing his sinfulness. It is a transformation that has come from spending time with Jesus. That's a beautiful thought to contemplate. How is spending time with Jesus transforming us? Well, the other disciples came rowing to the shore with the fish. After they all ate breakfast together, Jesus said to Peter, "Do you love me more than these?" Note the setting. They were sitting around a fire of coals. The Greek word translated as fire of coals appears in only one other place in the Gospel of John. It's when Peter was sitting at a fire of coals and denied Jesus Christ. 2 more times Jesus asked, "Do you love me?" We read Peter was grieved because Jesus said unto him the 3rd time, "Lovest thou me?" Can you see why Peter's heart was breaking? Earlier, Peter had been asked 3 times if he knew Jesus, and he had said no. But now he has a chance to change. Now, 3 times he affirms his love and loyalty to Jesus. That must have been a tender moment between them. Think about the Savior's question as it applies to you and me. Do you love me more than these? In context, it seems that Jesus is asking Peter if Peter loves Jesus more than all the fish. Or in other words, do you love me more than your temporal pursuits? President Russell Ballard said, relating this question to ourselves in our day, the Lord may be asking us about how busy we are and about the many positive and negative influences competing for our attention and our time. He may be asking each of us if we love him more than the things of this world. This may be a question about what we really value in life. Do you love me more than these? This is an important question for us to consider. And when we respond, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you," his answer to us will be, like it was for Peter, "Then feed my sheep." Looking at the scene holistically, we see that Christ has been resurrected. Then Peter goes fishing, and Jesus meets him at the Sea of Galilee. Elder Holland taught,
Jesus responded, perhaps saying something like, "Then Peter, why are you here? Why are we back on this same shore, by these same nets, having this same conversation? Wasn't it obvious then, and isn't it obvious now, that if I want fish, I can get fish? What I need, Peter, are disciples, and I need them forever. I need someone to feed my sheep, and save my lambs. I need someone to preach my gospel and defend my faith. I need someone who loves me, truly, truly loves me, and loves what our Father in heaven has commissioned me to do. So, Peter, for the second and presumably the last time, I am asking you to leave all this and to go and teach and testify. You labor and serve loyally until the day in which they will do to you exactly what they did to me.
One way of looking at this account is that Peter had had marvelous experiences with the Savior, but now he's gone back to his old ways. And Jesus is saying, Peter, I need you on my team permanently to do my work. A lesson from John 21 is that significant experiences with Christ should permanently change us. For example, many young people serve a full-time mission, and while on their missions, they significantly deepen their conversion to Christ. When they return home, do they return to all their old patterns of life? No. They changed on their missions, and the Savior wants them to continue in following him and feeding his sheep. Of course, we will make mistakes, and at times we all get distracted. In verse 19, Jesus says to Peter, "Follow me." Right after this, Peter looked at another disciple and said, "Lord, what shall this man do?" Jesus basically responds by saying, "Mind your own business, Peter. Just focus on following me." Like Peter, you and I might get distracted as well. But we've had encounters with Jesus. We cannot go back to our old ways. As with Peter, Christ gently urges us to not worry about other things, but instead focus on following him. In John's account, those are the final words Jesus speaks. Follow me.
To see more videos like this one, simply search Seeking Jesus.